wrong with me? Don't? I don't know.
Oh, can you do a few?
Not lost.
Yeah, I think my dad's the audio. I think my mom's the hospital.
3? Not 1. 3. That's what somebody just said.
Give me 7 after that.
I'm gonna condense first, and then I'll move into solving, right? Charlie, Ray. I'm gonna divide, and then I can drop the logs off since they're both the same there on either side. Multiply both sides by 2m minus 1. And I get m plus 3 equals 8m minus 4. I'm going to move this one over and this one over. So 7 equals 7m. What does m equal? 1. Whoever asked about that one. Number 7. Log base 5 of 3k plus 12 equals 3/4. Log base 5 of 405. I would work in the parentheses first. So I divide 405 by 5. And what do you get if you do that? 81. So we got 3/4 log base 5 of 81. I'm going to bring this around as an exponent. And so to the 3/4 would be the 4th root of 81 and then cubed, which should give you 27. Now I can drop the logs off. Equals 27, subtract 13. Oh, 15, just kidding. Yes, no, maybe so. The 405 divided by 5. Ten, 12, and 14. 10, 2 log base 2 of 3x minus 7.
Me? You made me miss it.
Let's see. Equals 10, what? It's just remnants. Why do you want me to go home so bad? If you didn't get this one, it's probably because you made it harder than what it was. And now I would change it 2 to the 5th equals 3x minus 7. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Like, you brought that around as an exponent. Miss McGee, what? That was my plan the whole time. That way I have a nice break. Remember, if you got one log and other stuff, always isolate the log. And so I tried to isolate it. Why couldn't you do it? That's an X. Why wouldn't you do what? Do not say it. Do not say that. Don't ever say that again. Why it says that I should put this. No, I didn't. I don't. You never do it. Do it twice. It will, but you can't do 9x squared minus 49. You have to FOIL it out. No, it doesn't. Yes. Say it again. I would divide both sides by 2. You can. You can do it either way. This is just easier. 13 is the solution. If I did it the other way, I would have 2 to the 10th power equals 9x squared minus 42x plus 49. And then I'd have to solve that quadratic. And if you went back and plugged it in, only one answer would work, and it would be the 13. So do y'all need me to go through and do that? Okay, I'm using some lights and I don't.
Blow it on here. No.
Yes or no on this one? What? I think y'all are just making it harder than what it is. If I isolate the log, subtract the 3 from both sides. So I got that's what I did too.
Alright, now what you do?
Change the form. Y'all are really not gonna like today. Well, e squared's on your calculator. You can actually leave it like that if you really want to. In calculus, we just leave things like that. I see what you're saying. You're good. 11. Yeah. 12. 1/2 log base 27 of 5c plus 6. Absolutely. I would multiply by 2. You could have made this an exponent and you'd have a square root there. But if I'm doing this, I'm going to get log by itself first. I'm going to multiply by 2. You got me something. You said that like you were trying to catch me doing something I wasn't supposed to do. The 2 came because I flipped that over and multiplied to get rid of it. Because if I don't, what's 2 times a half? Half of 2. 1. So I chose that. 27 to the 4/3 equals 5c plus 6. 27 to the 4/3, the cube root of 27 is 3, and 3 to the 4th is 81. Remember sunshine? So this would be the cube root of 27 to the 4th power. How many minutes to finish this one? You got it? 13. Was the problem that y'all just aren't isolating the log like you're supposed to? Bless you. Who's number 3? Oh. I thought I missed somebody on it. What? Okay, that's fine. I'm still gonna get a half. It didn't ask me for any of that, so. I got 1. The power. You did this. It doesn't equal 0, Wyatt. It doesn't. You have to change the form. It's 10 to the 0 power equals this. So even if you put that exponent on there, it equals 1, not 0. So you'd have to FOIL it out and do all that. Yes, Sonny. I think 0 is an extraneous solution. Yes, 0 is an extraneous solution. It might work whenever you solve it through, but if you were to plug it back in, you can't have the log of a negative number, right? You have the 2 where? But regardless, if you plug a 0 in here, this log will have a negative in it. It will be taking the log of a negative number. You can't, yeah, it won't let you do that. It'd be extraneous. Yes, 14. Log 2 plus log k minus 4 equals 1/3. Times those 2. So I get log of 2k minus 8. And then change it. I would leave the e there. I'm not going to get a decimal for it. It's too much work. I would do e to the 1/3 plus 8 over 2. And I would leave it just like that. E to the 1/3, same thing as what? Do not, Slade. What else from your homework? Going once, block 16. Multiple. What? Okay, but this one's different because I gotta condense them first. Because this is 1/2 and it's gonna be an exponent, that's gonna mean what? Right? So it's just 2n. So what I can do is log base 12 of 2n times n plus 14. 12 squared equals 2n squared plus 28n. 2n squared plus 28n minus 144. Whoa. Hold up. Where did I lose you? Well, what? Where did I lose y'all? What? I don't understand. I just wrote them in the other order. No, because 12 to the second power equals this. It is. It's an E for exponential. What does that mean? I don't know. Something. I don't know. What do you mean? There's no. It doesn't factor. 6 times 8 is 48. I messed up. I got it. Do you have it? You want me to just wait? Somebody please beat him besides me. Yes, 18 and 4. You got a calculator in your hand. Oh. But Charlie. Okay, there are my two solutions. No, because if I'd taken out an X, yes. But if I take, what? Because I took out a GCF. Yes, honey. All right, shh. I'm listening. It would be extraneous. I didn't have you check for extraneous every time, but yeah, this one wouldn't. Extraneous means when you plug it in, it doesn't work. So if I took that thought and I took negative 18 and I plugged it in, when I got here, that would give me a negative value, and that can't ever happen. So this one is extraneous. So this is the only true solution. Soon. Because if you plug it back in, it doesn't work because it's negative 18. The thing with a log is this can never be negative. Right? Because there's nothing, no matter what the number is, guys, there's nothing I can put here to make it equal a negative number. Well, you did something because you turned your homework in. What? Why did it erase everything? I'm going to divide. So I condense down to just one log and then change the form. We did this one. And then butterfly it. I can go back to didn't I do the log project with y'all? The earthquake project? It must have just been one section of y'all and not both sections. The Richter scale is a logarithmic scale. Whoever asked that. You want a Band-Aid? You sure?
Well, yeah, get a Band-Aid. I don't want to float around.
Literally. I put them on Khan Academy. Huh? No, that room's cursed.
Exactly.
All right, what other one? I'm gonna assume you can have it from there. All right, we're gonna pull everything together today. You ready? I would give you a brain break, but you clearly don't need one. Been on a brain break this whole time. What? No. No, actually, I was down across from Miss Speaks my first few years teaching. Like where Miss Speaks is, right across the hall. Whose room is that? Miss Burns. We swapped. He was whenever I moved out. He moved in there. And I moved down. It's the special needs hallway now, but it wasn't. That's where all the math teachers were, and I was there forever. And then they moved us here. This is my third class. Huh? Four or 5 years, maybe. How am I gonna solve it? This is all right. So with exponential pieces, right? I still want to isolate this, and let's do this. Let's make it even more interesting. Tell me what you're gonna do. What do you do first? You can't times that 2 to the 3. No, you can't. Divide. Why it says this is just 6 to the x? Y'all agree or no? Somebody tell me why not. It doesn't have the same base for 1. Give me another reason it doesn't. You can't do that. I've got to evaluate exponents before I can move to multiplication. You can't exactly because there's an x on it, so I can't do anything with it right now. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Possibly. You can look and see. Now it's log base 3 of 40. This is just a calculator problem. Yes? You do what? Yes. It should change a base. That's how you put it in the calculator. The decimal. Yeah. What? What do you mean 2 logs? You would need to condense them first. If it was what? Say it again. Log base 3 of 40 plus 30? 20. Oh, you just do log 40 over log 3 plus log 20 over log 2. Yes, you would add them. You can only condense them that way if they have the same base. And since those have different bases. What else? Oh, that's not how I'm getting distracted. They're so loud though. Solve it. No, y'all stop embarrassing me. I solve it. What do I do? Supposed to make you smart or something? It's an equation. Solve it for x. What do I do? Minus the 9. No, hold on. What? He's right. He's right. It's not going to be right. If it's
Erase
not
all this
that,
crap.
it's not right.
Erase all this.
Do it off to the side. Stop. Don't erase mine.
It's not right. 2 to the...
Good.
I do not care about what you're yapping about. Yeah.
You could do it that way, and that way does work because you could use base manipulation here. Because it works, but it doesn't always work. You could also do log base 4 of 32 equals 2x and solve it. You put this on your calculator and then subtract 7 and divide by 2. Say that again. Square root, yes. No, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. 9, 5. He made the bases the same and then set the exponents equal. All right, let's do something you haven't done then. Keep solving. Subtract 7 divided by 2. Yes. Do what? What'd you say? Yeah, it should be the same thing you got here. Yeah, yeah. Depends on what those numbers are. Because if you have something like 5 to the log base 5 of x, that's just x. It just depends on the numbers. We won't get into a lot with that unless they do cancel out like that. All right, let me show you this. Remember, we've talked about if you have just one exponential piece and other stuff. 0.25. That's what I put. No, the answer should be 2.25. The final. Log base 4 of 32 is 2.5. Appreciate it. We talked about if you have one exponential piece and other stuff, right? We get that exponential piece by itself, and then we can either use base manipulation or change it to a logarithmic. But what if I have two exponential pieces like this? Ooh, what can I do? This is probably the hardest. How are you going to do the base? What do I mean by that? I'm going to do the log of both sides, and I'm just going to do a common log, a log base 10. So, because whatever I do, I can do the same thing as long as I do it both sides, right? I can do whatever I want. So if I make this log 2 to the x plus 5 equals log 3 x minus 2. My base here is 10, right? Because I've just used a common log. You could use ln, you could use whatever. And I'm going to expand it. And by expand it, what I mean is I'm going to take these and put them in the front. Okay? So I've got x plus 5 times log of 2 equals x minus 2 times the log of 3. Is this something I could solve now? Yes, it's going to take me a little bit of manipulation, but sure, I could do it, right? And in fact, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to divide by log 2 and divide by x minus 2. Watch what happens. This cancels, and this cancels, right? So I've got x plus 5 over x minus 2 equals, and this is just some number. Use your calculator and find out what it is. What's log 3 divided by log 2? Can you solve this? You better be able to solve this now. You should be able to. Butterfly. Log 3. Wouldn't it be what? Well, you can't just divide these values like that. So it's not going to be 1.5. Right. I told y'all this is the hardest. But if you get 2, remember, just log both sides and expand it, and you'll be able to get to your solution. You won't have a lot of these, but you'll have a few. 1.584x minus 3.1699. Okay. It's just a rounding issue. I'm going to probably add and move that x over also. I'm taking a lot of steps here writing this, but you definitely don't have to take quite this much. I just wanted you to see where everything is coming from, and then divide. What do you think? Billy, are you okay? Which one? Yeah. It's a culmination. Actually, I think I'll save the review sheet. Just, you mean the left?